In Skyrim, a crown is not inherited, it is seized. The Nords do not trust in divine right or imperial decrees. Instead, they gather their jarls in an ancient council, the Moot, to choose their ruler. But behind this proud tradition lies centuries of conflict, manipulation, and betrayal. The Moot is a mirror of Skyrim itself. Independent, stubborn, yet forever fractured. In today's lore video, we will uncover the history of the Moot, its origins, its corruption, and its uncertain future in the Elder Scrolls. The Moot is a council of Skyrim's 9 jarls. When the throne is empty or a king's rule is disputed, they gather to decide the next high king or queen. On paper, this system is quite simple. In reality, it's a web of loyalties, rivalries, and outside interference. Jarls vote with their allegiances, their fears, and sometimes their purses. Still, to the Nords, the Moot is sacred. It represents freedom from foreign crowns. As Ulfric Stormcloak declares, "We Nords were meant to rule ourselves. The Moot should decide who sits on the throne of the High King." The Moot's origins stretch back to the days of Ysgramor and the 500 Companions. Early Nord clans mistrusted absolute monarchy. Instead, leaders were chosen for strengths and deeds, not just blood. The High King was not a divine emperor, but a first among equals. The Songs of the Return emphasize Ysgramor's reliance on counsel. Ysgramor, through mighty, sought always the counsel of his closest warriors, for he knew that Skyrim was not his alone, but all of theirs. This principle, rule through the voice of peers, became the foundation of the Moot. It reflected a worldview where power came not from divine right, but from the strength of oaths and bonds. Throughout Skyrim's history, the Moot has shaped power and has been shaped by it. In the First Era, King Harald, first true ruler of Skyrim, was succeeded only after the Moot confirmed his heir, establishing that lineage mattered, but approval mattered more. In the Second Era, during the chaos of the Interregnum, the Moot became the one stabilizing institution that kept Skyrim distinct while Cyrodiil burned. By the Third Era, under the Septim Empire, the Moot survived, but as a shadow of itself. The Emperor's influence weighed heavily on its votes, ensuring that Skyrim remained loyal. The High King of Skyrim rules by Nord's tradition, but his duty is to the Emperor. The Moot, though ancient, is now but another jewel in the crown of Cyrodiil. To the Empire, the Moot was a quaint tradition, tolerated so long as it produced the correct monarch. But to the Nords, it remained a sacred right, proof that Skyrim belonged to them. While the Moot symbolizes independence, it has rarely been free from outside influence. Imperial coin, pressure, and diplomacy have shaped its outcomes for centuries. The scholar Felsefine Direni observed in Frontier, Conquest, and Accommodation, the Nords were ever a divided people, prone to rivalry and internal strife. It was the genius of the Cyrodiilic emperors to use these rivalries, bending the Moot to their will rather than breaking it outright. Here we see the Empire's strategy. Do not abolish the Moot, but manipulate it. Skyrim's crown would belong to Cyrodiil, chosen through Nordic hands. The Moot lies at the heart of Skyrim's civil war. When High King Torygg falls to Ulfric Stormcloak's tomb, the throne becomes vacant. By tradition, the Moot should decide the next ruler. But Skyrim is divided. Elisif the Fair, Torygg's widow, is favored by the Empire. Ulfric claims legitimacy by the ancient right of challenge. The Jarls themselves are split, and the council cannot meet in full while war rages. Ulfric will never be High King, not while I draw breath. When the Moot meets, they'll choose Ulfric. You mark my words. The White Gold Concordat left scars not only in Cyrodiil, but in Skyrim. Many Jarls questioned the Empire's ability to defend them, and voices of secession grew louder. In this way, the Moot becomes paralyzed, a symbol of unity turned hostage to division. The Moot embodies the Nordic paradox, a proud democracy of Jarls yet vulnerable to corruption, a symbol of freedom, yet a tool of war. Pocket of the Third Guide to the Empire, 3rd edition, written during the waning days of the Septim dynasty, remarks cynically, "The Jarls of Skyrim are as stubborn as their mountains. Their moots are less counsels of wisdom than contests of will. Yet, even this fractiousness is a source of their strength." Here we glimpse the truth. The Moot is flawed, but it is also survival. For all their divisions, the Nords refuse to let anyone else decide their fate. The story of the Moot does not end with Skyrim's civil war. The Elder Scrolls whisper of change. The Book of the Dragonborn reminds us, when misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. Your choices in Skyrim, the Jarls you support, the side you fight for, may have already altered the fate of the Moot. Speculation about the Elder Scrolls 6 suggests Hammerfell or High Rock as the next stage. Both are provinces shaped by independence, rivalry, and uneasy alliances. Could a fractured Skyrim, and its paralyzed Moot, play a role in the politics of the next game? Could the fate of Tamriel hinge not just on dragons and empires, but on the will of 9 Jarls? The Moot of Skyrim is more than politics. It is a mirror of the Nords themselves. Proud, independent, fractured, and unyielding. It has endured empires, invasions, and betrayals. It has crowned heroes and tyrants alike. But its greatest trial may still lie ahead. For in Skyrim, a crown is never secure. It must be claimed through voice, through steel, or through the will of the Jarls. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has been a deep dive into the history and corruption and future of the Moot in Skyrim. What do you think? Should the Nords cling to this ancient tradition? Or is the Moot too flawed to guide them into the next era and the future of the Elder Scrolls universe? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel for more Elder Scrolls content, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on when videos get uploaded. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and I will see you all soon.